Good Morning America, new targets. Massive explosions lighting up the Tehran sky following the latest wave of U.S.-Israeli strikes and President Trump's threats that Iran would be hit very hard. The country launching new retaliatory strikes as the war's second major front expands. Israel targeting Hezbollah in Lebanon, the cost of war hitting home with the dignified transfer of 6 American soldiers.
Damage and destruction. Communities in the Midwest torn apart by more than a dozen reported tornadoes. At least 8 people killed in this violent storm system. Homes and buildings shredded, and the forecast for more severe weather for the week ahead.
New questions about a Homeland Security agent opening fire on a driver killing Ruben Ray Martinez in Texas a year ago. Does the newly released video contradict claims about what happened that night?
Surging prices for oil and gas, how much they've skyrocketed in just the last week, and how the airlines could pass on their soaring costs with more than just price hikes. Could your spring break vacation cost you more?
What's your name, Beaver?
Watch list, what to see if you're heading to the theater this weekend.
We call it Hoppers.
Or want to get ready for the Oscar.
I'll be seeing you very soon.
Plus binge-worthy small screen suggestions.
Bats on fire, the U.S. off to a strong start in the Baseball Classic. And hoop dreams. Overnight, the women's college team scoring victory in the SEC semifinal games, now ready to battle it out in today's championship.
Live from ABC News headquarters in New York City, it's Sunday. Good Morning America.
Good morning, America. Whit is off this morning, so you've got Gio and I. And this is the morning that most of the nation wakes up to daylight saving time by setting our clocks ahead an hour. So chances are you could be feeling a bit groggy this morning. We certainly were when we came in.
Yeah, the eyes are still blinking.
Yes,
we're making our way through this morning.
But the sun's setting later in the day, so it's worth it.
That's right. And we have a lot of news to get to here this morning, starting with a security scare at the New York City mayor's residence. The FBI's Joint Terrorism Task Force is now investigating suspicious devices thrown during a protest as possible acts of terrorism. And in the Midwest, new images reveal the devastating path of destruction left by more than a dozen reported tornadoes. And there's more dangerous weather on the way here.
Yes, we're going to get to all of that, but we do begin with the escalating U.S. and Israeli war with Iran. Those massive fires burning across Tehran from strikes on oil reservoirs are still raging this morning. Look at those images lighting up the skyline for miles. And in Kuwait, a government office building was hit in a drone attack even after Iran told its neighbors it would halt further fighting unless another nation attacked Iran first. ABC News chief international correspondent James Longman is in Iraq to start our team coverage this morning. Good morning, James.
Yeah, good morning, Janae. We had a pretty active night last night. There were 10 drones fired here on Erbil alone by Iran's proxies in this region. 2 of them managed to breach air defenses. Another city not far from here, Sulaymaniyah, does not have any air defenses. That was also hit. At least 2 people were killed across this region. In Lebanon, Israel is advancing into the south. Gulf countries are still getting seriously hit. In every direction, this war is expanding.
Tehran ablaze overnight in a new wave of US-Israeli bombardments now hitting energy infrastructure. Israel says it launched strikes on multiple oil refineries. This inferno seen from miles away at one fuel depot, massive plumes of smoke billowing through the night sky. Another major refinery was hit elsewhere in the city, causing this huge fireball to erupt. Israel says the strikes are aimed at dismantling Iran's military infrastructure, although these strikes will have a major cost to civilians too. Iran launching a new wave of attacks in retaliation. Sirens singing out in Tel Aviv as defense missile systems intercepted their missiles. And just hours after Iran's president apologized to its neighboring countries, promising to stop any further fighting unless a nation attacks Iran first, strikes rained down in several Gulf countries. Drones and missiles hit this high-rise in Kuwait. And video circulating on X captured the moment an Iranian drone struck the world's busiest international airport in Dubai. Operations there suspended temporarily. As this war expands by the day, the US State Department says at least 28,000 Americans have safely returned to the US. Over at the Iraqi border with Iran, Throughout the past week, tensions have been mounting amid reports that the US has been working with Kurdish forces in the region for a ground incursion into Iran.
The Peshmerga have had close ties with the United States for years. They've been a recipient of military equipment for a long time too. But now they're worried at the possibility of the United States helping to fund and arm another Kurdish group in this region to launch an attack on Iran. That will disturb the peace.
But overnight, Trump, speaking aboard Air Force One, says he's ruled out working with the Kurds.
I just think the war is complicated enough without getting the Kurds involved.
But Iranian proxies are taking the threat seriously. Multiple drones were fired overnight at the Kurdistan region of northern Iraq. And the war's second major front has expanded too, as Israel wages war on the Iranian-backed proxy group Hezbollah in Lebanon. Strikes pounding the southern suburbs of Beirut overnight. The IDF is now forcing yet more people from their homes here. Among the hundreds of thousands forced to leave, this young family fleeing with only moments' notice, talking to our Matt Rivers. The man says they left their home with only the clothes on their backs. He says his children are now terrified of the noise of fighter jets. There's no sign of an end to those sounds anytime soon.
Well, Iranian drones and missiles are doing some serious damage to US bases. Billions of dollars of important missile defense systems and radars have been destroyed or damaged at bases from Qatar to Jordan to Kuwait. The US and Israel, of course, are trying to take out Iran's ability to retaliate, but a week in, Tehran is still exacting some big costs. Gio.
Really powerful to see those children there. James, our thanks to you and Matt Rivers. Thank you so much. Now to President Trump's warning that sending U.S. ground troops to Iran is possible. His comments following his attendance at the dignified transfer of the first U.S. service members who were killed in the war. And ABC News senior White House correspondent Selena Wang has more on this. Selena, good morning.
And good morning to you, Gio. Yes, the president is honoring the 6 American soldiers who have been killed in this war with Iran. And there's no end in sight to this. The president is vowing to escalate this war, saying it will last for as long as it takes. Overnight, President Trump paying tribute to the 6 American soldiers killed in the opening hours of the war with Iran, attending the dignified transfer at Dover Air Force Base, witnessing their bodies return along with the families of the fallen. The 6 Americans were killed when a drone hit the facility where they were working in Kuwait. Among them, mothers, fathers, husbands, and brothers. The president honoring their sacrifice while also warning Americans of more U.S. casualties.
They're great heroes in our country, and we're going to keep it that way. There's always, when it comes to war, there's always that. But we're going to keep it to a minimum.
This morning, the NYPD also mourning the loss of Officer Sorfly Davius, who they say died from a medical episode while deployed in Kuwait in support of Operation Epic Fury. Governor Kathy Hochul remembering him as a devoted husband and father. Trump also vowing Iran will be hit very hard, saying the U.S. has identified new targets for complete destruction and certain death as war rages on. The president saying ground troops could be sent into Iran for a very good reason.
If we ever did that, they would be so decimated that they wouldn't be able to fight at the ground level.
And the president responding to that strike on an elementary school that Iran says killed more than 150 on the first day of the war. Sources telling ABC News it's possible American forces are responsible for the attack as they were conducting other strikes in the area. But the president pushing back.
No, in my opinion, based on what I've seen, that was done by Iran.
And the president will be speaking here in Doral, Florida to House Republicans tomorrow. We're talking about some of the president's most loyal allies, but even some of them have questioned the president going to war without congressional approval. And Janae, some of them are also concerned about how long all of this is going to last for.
And especially with so many civilians and children caught in the middle of this. Selena, thank you. Now let's bring in ABC's Chief Global Affairs anchor Martha Raddatz, who's in Jerusalem this morning. Martha, good morning to you. You have been on the ground there in Israel. Give us a sense of how much this region has been upended by this war as it now enters its ninth day with really no signs of letting up on either side.
No signs of letting up at all, Janae. Certainly a huge section of missile launchers have been destroyed in Iran. The nuclear facilities, they say, have been destroyed at this point as much as they can be. But those flights, those fighter jets are going in there every single day. Missiles are still being launched towards Iran, and they certainly are being launched in this direction. You have people going into the shelters multiple times every night, and missiles, a few of those missiles have, as we know, gotten through the air defenses here in Israel. They have gotten a lot of Americans out of the region now, about 27,000 people who were in the region stuck, had no idea this war was about to begin, but there really are no signs that this is stopping anytime soon, Janae.
Yeah, it's really terrifying, Martha. And President Trump has talked about this idea of regime change. Other administration officials, they seem to have a more limited view of the objectives of this war. We know that you're going to be speaking here with the U.S. Ambassador to the UN, Mike Waltz, later this morning. So how is the administration explaining what comes next? How could this end?
They talk about the president choosing the next supreme leader. But this morning, Israel is saying they will kill anybody who is chosen who they do not want. And looking for a supreme leader they do want, or President Trump wants, is going to be a very, very tall order. You're talking about the IRGC. You're talking about religious figures. President Trump said it's okay if it's a religious figure, but I think there is a disconnect between what the Israelis want, what the U.S. wants, and how they see regime change, which will be very difficult at this point, despite the fact that the supreme leader is dead and those 40 senior leaders. We just really have no idea what would come next and what they will do if they don't like it, Gio and Janae.
Yeah, that is the central question here. All right, Martha, thank you so much. And tune into This Week Later. Martha anchors a special edition of This Week from Jerusalem. And as we mentioned, she's going to be joined by U.S. Ambassador to the UN, Mike Waltz, along with former Joint Chiefs Chairman, Admiral Mike Mullen, and former Israeli Ambassador to the U.S., Michael Oren. Janae.
All right, Gio, back here at home now to the line of severe storms that killed at least 8 people. Tornadoes battered several states, causing a stretch of damage from the Midwest down to the South. ABC's Morgan Norwood joins us with more of those details. Good morning, Morgan.
Hey, good morning to you, Janae. Just so devastating, that deadly storm system spawning several tornadoes, including a rare twister that sliced across a frozen lake. And among those killed, a 12-year-old. But this morning, several hard-hit communities are under disaster declarations as they begin that long road to recovery.
This morning, we're seeing the extent of the damage from that powerful storm system that spawned deadly tornadoes that killed 8 people across Michigan and Oklahoma. At least 13 tornadoes reported across the storm zone. This drone video showing the massive debris field.
Look, there is a tornado.
After this twister in Union Lake, Michigan, near Kalamazoo, sliced through several homes.
There goes a house.
Killing 4 people and injuring at least a dozen more. Neighborhoods left littered with debris. The National Weather Service says that storm was especially unusual, forming as it crossed several frozen lakes. 2 people also killed Thursday after a tornado touched down in Beggs, Oklahoma.
OMG!
In Three Rivers, Michigan, a rare and powerful EF3 tornado with winds of at least 130 miles per hour, shredding homes and buildings. Residents banding together to help clean up. Brandon Van Hooser and his family were shopping inside this home improvement store when a twister ripped the roof off.
I could see the roof fly, just completely leave the building. And it wasn't until we got out from underneath the racking, once it sounded like it had passed by, that I seen that it actually collapsed the whole building and the wall from the outside.
Van Hooser making it outside only to find pieces of that roof crashed into his car.
It wasn't until we had made it outside that I realized how severe it could have actually been. The shrapnel that flew everywhere.
And thankfully, as you saw, that family making it out okay. But while this deadly severe weather outbreak is winding to a close this weekend, there's a new round of storms now on the move to start the week, Gio.
All right, and we will watch that, Morgan. Thank you so much. Now to the new body camera footage of the moments leading up to the fatal shooting of a U.S. citizen by a Homeland Security investigations agent, appearing to cast doubt on the Department of Homeland Security's account of it. And ABC's Christian Cordero is in D.C. with more on this. Christian, good morning.
Gio, good morning. This is the first time we're seeing video leading up to that fatal shooting that happened 1 year ago. And a warning, some of these images may be difficult to watch.
Hey, where are you going?
This morning, new scrutiny on the Department of Homeland Security's explanation for shooting and killing an American citizen in South Texas last March. Newly released body camera footage shows the moments that led up to the death of 23-year-old Ruben Ray Martinez. It started with this vehicle crash caught on surveillance video. Homeland Security was helping law enforcement redirect traffic on South Padre Island, an area popular among spring breakers. Body camera video shows Martinez driving up to the crash scene and speaking with an officer. The clip has no audio, but another officer's camera captures part of that conversation, alleging Martinez has an open container. In the video, you can hear officers say both pull over and keep going. Multiple cameras then show Martinez driving off towards the intersection.
Stop him, stop him, stop him.
Moments later, the HSI agent identified as Jack Stevens fires his gun 3 times into Martinez's vehicle. Homeland Security says Martinez hit another agent with his car. He is seen being pulled from his vehicle, thrown to the ground by an ICE agent, and handcuffed before first responders treat him. Hours later, he was pronounced dead at the hospital. A toxicology report shows Martinez had THC in his system and a blood alcohol content of 0.12 above the legal limit. A grand jury ruled the shooting was justified. Acting ICE Director Todd Lyons tells ABC News the department, quote, stands by the grand jury's unanimous decision. But his family is devastated and wants accountability and point to the brake lights that appear to be on when he was shot.
I look at the video and I think, wait a second, you know, he's not accelerating at a high rate of speed. He's not a threat to anyone. I don't see any officer in front of the car, as they claim occurred.
Now, the release of this body camera video comes as the department faces turmoil amid demands for greater accountability that has so far led to a change in leadership and a lapse in funding. Janae.
All right, a tough story there, Christiane. Thank you. New this morning, New York City police say 6 people were arrested during a protest and a counter-protest near the official residence of New York City's mayor. Police say 2 suspicious devices were found, jars filled with nuts, bolts, and screws, and a hobby fuse. They say one protest of about 20 people was organized by far-right anti-immigrant figure Jake Lang. About 125 people were part of the counter-protest. The FBI's New York's Joint Terrorism Task Force says it is investigating the throwing of suspicious devices as possible acts of terrorism. Overnight at the World Baseball Classic, the U.S. taking on the UK. ABC's Andrew Dimbert has all the highlights. Good morning, Andrew.
Good morning, guys. The United States off to a strong start at the World Baseball Classic, powering past Great Britain in Houston. The UK stunning the crowd early after Nate Eaton launches a first pitch home run to put the UK on top in the first inning. The heavy underdogs from across the pond even flashing some defense with outfielder Trace Thompson making a leaping grab at the wall to rob a potential American home run. Still the star-studded U.S. lineup quickly breaking the game open. In the 5th inning, Kyle Schwarber crushing a 2-run homer to flip the game for good. It would spark a 5-run rally from there. You know, the American bats just kept rolling. Gunnar Henderson going 4 for 5 with 2 ribbies, while stars like Aaron Judge and Alex Bregman helping cement the lead. And on the mound, 2-time reigning American Cy Young winner Tarik Skubal striking out 5 in 3 innings to start the night before the bullpen took over. When it was over, the United States had scored 9 unanswered runs, cruising to a 9-1 victory. Wow. The win moves Team USA to 2-0 in pool play. Up next for the Americans, Mexico on Monday. World Baseball Classic. It also means the summer, right?
Yeah, it sure does. That's right.
That's what we're looking forward to.
Absolutely. All right, Andrew, thank you so much. Still ahead here on Good Morning America. Your next trip, it could cost more. How turmoil in Iran could soon raise airline fuel prices.
Plus, a medal at mile 18. The LA Marathon's heat relief shortcut is dividing runners. I'll keep my opinion to myself. Is it smart safety or bending the rules?
Please don't keep it to yourself. And the SEC title is on the line. South Carolina's powerhouse Lady Gamecocks face Texas in a showdown with major tournament stakes. ESPN's Shanae Ogumake is here to break it all down.
Doing for the bachelorette party? What about like a princess theme? Versace meets the gold rush.
I'm thinking tanned gentlemen that swallow fire and wear sarongs.
Female Fight Club. We grease up.
Surprise! Beat the crap out of her. I don't hate it.
Vegas it is.
I had a dream last night. You were in it.
Welcome back to GMA. The comedy classic Bridesmaids turns 15 this year, and there are hints of a cast reunion to mark the occasion at the Oscars next Sunday. Right? Will Gans joins us later in the hour with more on this possible anniversary celebration.
That is going to be wild.
Right? That would be a good time.
All right, tune into the Oscars. Let's take a look at some of the other stories we're following here on this Sunday morning. An explosion reported at the U.S. Embassy in Oslo overnight. Police in Norway say that the blast caused minor damage to the property, but no one was hurt. Witnesses say that they saw smoke rising from the building. An investigation now underway to pinpoint the cause of that blast.
The Obama Presidential Center in Chicago will officially open to the public on Juneteenth. The Obama Foundation announced the grand opening is slated for June 19th with a series of community events. The center will include a museum, playground, and a library branch.
And Janae has some thoughts on this. The Los Angeles Marathon is today, and runners do not have to complete the entire race to get a medal. Temperatures are expected to climb into the 80s in L.A. Organizers say they do not want participants to push themselves too hard in the heat. Janae does. And due to the warm weather, runners only need to clear 18 miles instead of 26.2 to collect a finisher medal.
To be fair, I have not run a marathon in 80-degree heat, but like you should have to do 26.2 for the medal, but I digress. All right. All right, we do start this hour with the escalating war with Iran is hitting Americans right here at home. Oil prices are soaring this morning, continuing a sharp climb that began after the U.S. and Israel launched major strikes on Iran last week. Those attacks triggered widespread disruptions across key Middle East shipping routes and damaged critical oil and gas facilities, cutting into supplies from some of the world's biggest producers.
And that means many of you are already seeing higher prices at the pump. So what can we expect in the days ahead? And as families get ready for spring break, airfare is another big concern. So we've got team coverage on this morning. We're going to begin with Jacqueline Lee in California. You're tracking the latest on gas prices. Jacqueline, good morning.
Hey guys, good morning. Yeah, drivers are going by these gas stations, looking at the prices and saying this is ridiculous. This gas station selling a gallon of gas for $5.49. Now, we are seeing gas prices surge due to the escalating war in Iran. The national average for a gallon of gas, $3.45 according to Gas Buddy, soaring 48 cents from just a week ago and hitting the highest level since September 2024. Crude oil prices surging more than 35% since last week. This is the biggest weekly increase on record. All of this happening because the Strait of Hormuz is at a virtual standstill. Millions of barrels of oil not getting out. According to Gas Buddy, diesel jumped 22 cents in a day on Friday. That is the biggest single-day increase on record. And the reason why this is a big deal is because if it costs companies more money to transport goods, that cost gets passed on to the consumer. Gio?
Yeah, it sure does. All right, thank you so much, Jacqueline. Let's turn now to ABC's Faith Abube in Atlanta for more on those airfares and how they could be impacted. Faith, good morning.
Yeah, good morning to you, Gio. Airlines are navigating a record surge in spring break travel over the next 2 months. And in the middle of this high travel demand, a stark warning from the United Airlines CEO, Scott Kirby, telling CNBC that the war in Iran is sparking an oil crisis that could actually push airlines to raise their ticket prices. And the impact to passengers will, quote, probably start quick. Now, jet fuel prices are already surging. In just 1 week of this war, the average price jumped from $2.50 to $3.95 a gallon. The industry hasn't seen a price hike this dramatic in years. Airlines could start building these additional costs into your ticket prices, the fuel surcharge on those tickets, or even raise fees on things like your checked luggage, for example. And so that could really start adding up and affecting your summer travel, which is why experts say book your summer plane tickets right now before those prices start rising. But if you have some flexibility, you can wait. The expectation here is that once the oil tankers start moving through the Strait of Hormuz, that prices will start going back in the right direction, or at least they'll start stabilizing.
Here on Good Morning America, the Knicks and the Lakers go head-to-head tonight in a coast-to-coast showdown. ESPN's Chiney Okumake is here with what this matchup means for the playoff race, plus the rest of the NBA. Stick around. Okay, welcome back. The stage is set for the Women's SEC Championship. It's South Carolina versus Texas. Both teams have put up a fight all season. Now they're eyeing the conference here victory. Joining us with more on this SEC showdown, ESPN basketball analyst Chiney Ogwumike. Chiney, good morning. It is so good to see you.
Good morning, my friends. How are y'all doing?
Oh, we're doing pretty good. A lot better now that you're joining us. Hey, it's a big day for these teams. Let's talk about South Carolina. What's that momentum and offense looking like when they show up today?
Well, since it's morning, let's talk about Dawn Staley and the Gamecocks. 7 straight SEC championship title games for the Gamecocks. And this year, they're led by a super senior in Raven Johnson. You guys, you would fall in love with how she plays the game. She actually just had a career high 22 points versus LSU, and she has an amazing running mate as well in Joyce Edwards, who leads her team in scoring at 20 points per game. Now, she is a sophomore. This team is well coached. Their offense is well balanced, and also they've gone through it. We're here in Greenville, South Carolina, and it feels like a home game. The crowd is rocking and has their teams back. So Dawn Staley has to do what she does, show up. There's a motto: look good, feel good, play good, and it rubs off on her team. And right now, her team is truly the one to beat in this tournament.
Now, Chiney, let's talk Texas, because Texas has a chance to win it all. So what does their performance from last night tell us going into this matchup?
You guys know where I'm from. I have a soft spot for Texas, for the Longhorns, particularly for Maddie Booker, because deep in the heart of Texas, that's where she arrives. Maddie Booker is a master of the mid-range. She actually leads D1 in mid-range makes, and she just had a career-high 31, in this last previous semifinal game versus Ole Miss. But she's not alone. Also in the heart of Texas is the point guard, Rory Harmon. She leads their organization, their franchise, in total assists and also total steals. She is a dog out there. So in this matchup, you have point guards that honestly know how to lead the way. I mentioned Raven Johnson for South Carolina. Now for Texas, it's Rory Harmon. Their defense in Texas is their edge. This one will be a brawl for it all.
I love your passion, not just for Texas, but for this whole sport. It's just amazing. I love that, Chiney. All right, so let's switch to the NBA. 2 big games this afternoon, the Celtics versus the Cavs, and you got the Knicks versus the Lakers. So what's the high priority for these teams?
All right, I'm going to have a little fun this morning. Just like maybe Janae, your favorite throwback group, both of these teams, I'm talking about Celtics, Cavs, have new additions. They have new additions. Let's start with the Boston Celtics. Jason Tatum is back, and his debut was just perfectly imperfect. He had 15 points, about 7 rebounds, 5 or so assists. He was great. Now, he did get hung on the rim a little bit, but that was so human, and that's why we love him and we love this game, because he understands what's at stake. Now, on the other side, you think about the Cavaliers, their new addition is James Harden. When he plays so far in a Cleveland Cavalier uniform, they are 8-1, and he makes their bigs better. Guys like Evan Mobley, guys like Jarrett Allen have gone from shooting around 60% from the floor to 70+% from the floor, just playing alongside James Harden, who leads the NBA in isolation because he can manipulate defense. So that is a really great matchup based off of the new additions that are trying to help them win a championship come the next month or so.
Oh, you are always so much fun, Chiney. We appreciate you being with us this morning. Have a good time out there. And you at home can catch the Celtics and Cavs today at 1 p.m. Eastern right here on ABC, followed by the Knicks and the Lakers at 3. And you can watch College Game Day at noon on Disney+. And the games start at 1 p.m. over on ESPN.
Now on GMA with the latest edition of Binge This. I wasn't sure if it was going to come. It did. Will Gans has got you covered here at the big and small screen entertainment. All right, so first off, the weekend's biggest new releases.
I got you here. All right, audiences are all hopped up on Disney Pixar magic this weekend, thanks to Hoppers. It's about a college student who uses some experimental technology to transfer her consciousness into a robotic beaver so that she can team up with real beavers to save their habitat. It is hilarious and heartwarming, and it is in movie theaters right now. Also this weekend, Harry Styles returns to the concert stage for the first time in over 3 years. The Grammy winner's new album, Kiss All the Time, Disco Occasionally, dropped on Friday, and to celebrate, Harry has filmed his very first time playing the album for a crowd. Harry Styles' One Night in Manchester streams on Netflix today at 3 p.m. Eastern. What I love about this is not everybody can be paying $700 to see him when he goes on tour, but you can watch him from your own couch this afternoon.
So smart. And your daughter loved Hoppers.
My kids loved it. And when she was like, a girl turns into to an animal, and I was like, a beaver? How did you know? Well, honey. And we're exactly 1 week out from Oscar Sunday, so what movies should we brush up on?
All right, the two movies I think we'll be hearing most when awards are handed out at the Oscars are Sinners and One Battle After Another. The former is Ryan Coogler's vampire period thriller starring Michael B. Jordan, who recently became a front-runner for Best Actor after his win at the Actor Awards. You can watch Sinners on Prime, and One Battle After Another stars Leo DiCaprio, Teyana Taylor, and Sean Penn, and is an action-packed drama that could pick up several awards next week, streaming on HBO Max. And not that anyone ever needs a reason to rewatch Bridesmaids, but the comedy classic is turning 15 this year, and there are rumors that Kristen Wiig, Maya Rudolph, and Melissa McCarthy will reunite at this year's Oscars to celebrate Rose Byrne, who's nominated for Best Actress for If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You at the Oscars this year. You can stream Bridesmaids pretty much anywhere these days, but make sure that you are ready to party with the best of them.
That's right. The Academy producers, please make that happen, please. All right, what about the small screen?
Glad you asked. Bill Lawrence is the brains behind some of the best comedies on TV, from Ted Lasso to Scrubs, which the revival is now streaming on Disney Plus, and new episodes are dropping on ABC. But he's got a brand new show premiering on HBO Max tonight. It's called Rooster, and Steve Carell is back in his cringy comedy glory, playing an author who comes to a college campus to help his daughter, who's a professor there, get her life back together after a breakup. Something very crazy happens at the end of episode 1, which looks like it'll set the tone for the rest of the season. That's tonight on HBO Max. Or if you're looking for something more dramatic, our guy Sterling K. Brown, back for season 2 of Paradise on Hulu. Shailene Woodley has joined the cast this season, and if you thought season 1 was explosive, buckle up. The first 4 episodes of Paradise are out now on Hulu and Hulu on Disney Plus, with new episodes out each Monday.
I was not prepared for the end of episode 4. I wasn't
You
prepared.
already?
It's so good. It's so good.
All right.
Yes, finally, I have to mention Love Story, John F. Kennedy Jr. and Carolyn Bessette, the dramatized version of one of the most fascinating American love stories, gripping, and has launched a 90s fashion resurgence. New episodes drop every week on FX and Hulu. I watched it on Disney Plus. The show is so good.
It's really good.
I mean,
really
and
good.
it just like reliving the 90s like that too is also kind of fun.
Music, everything.
Yes.
All right, well, thank you so much.
Guys, all of our brain cells did pretty well, even with less sleep.
Yes.
Yeah, right?
But now we
Speak
can
for
nap.
yourself.
Thanks for starting your day with us.
You can catch more weekend news coverage over on ABC News Live.
Have a great day. See you here tomorrow from the Blue Crew.
Yes.